Coast to Coast RIA presents the Experts Corner with Pete Asmus. Now get ready to go make something happen, because in this series, it's all about actionable information with different experts, strategies, and solutions from around the country. You won't be able to help but catapult your life into a new direction. So get ready, because we are about to begin.
And now from coast to coast, your host,
all right, guys, welcome. I know that for some of you, we're talking about East Coast time, so I know that we're over there. We're at 9 o'clock. I want to welcome everybody to the Experts Corner with Pete Asmus. Tonight's special guest is Justin Velthoen. We're going to be talking about SEO made easy, and I'm telling you guys right now, this series here, the Experts Corner, especially with Justin, this stuff is so actionable. It's amazing. I promise tonight you guys are going to walk away from this going, holy cow, I've got stuff that I can literally use right now in my business right now, and it will help me move forward. A little bit of background on me. I'm one of the co-founders of Coast to Coast RIA. We have 34 locations in 16 states with over 12,000 members now at this point. I do a radio show on Bloomberg Monday through Friday from 10 to 11 o'clock. We do trainings around the country, and there's some other stuff that I'm going to be announcing here, hopefully within the next week or so, that we're going to be taking on as well. That's going to be pretty fun. My special host tonight is Justin Velthoen. He's got an amazing story as well. So, Justin, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself here real quick, and I will stop talking.
I don't believe that for a second.
Well, for a little bit.
All right. Hey, my name is Justin Velthoen. So I started years and years ago programming. I got caught goofing off in class and accidentally developed a program just because I didn't listen to the instructions, and so I ended up developing a program. Been around code most of my life. I decided when I went to college that I was going to go to school for computers because that's what my dad said I should do, and frankly I knew them logic came easy, and so that's what I did. And now I'm going to school for business, or I have my MBA, and now I'm going back and getting my PMP certification. So we're doing a lot of different things.
You're going to get a PMP certification? Is that what you said?
Yep.
You got to be certified to be a pimp.
You do. It adds like an extra 16% onto your salary. So
man, it's rough, right? I mean, you got to brush your shoulders off sometimes. Okay.
Oh no, I have to brush other people's shoulders off.
That's true. That's true. PMP, that's a project management.
Project management professional, yeah.
Professional.
So I've been doing project management like pretty much since day one. It's always been that guy in the group that steps up and is like, okay, well you do this, and let's get this, and this is what it should be. And taking a lot of leadership right now to bring those all the people together to do things, get them excited about things,
sure.
And then bring in that task management on the back end. So it's really an interesting subject, and it consumes a lot of time.
Now, real quick, last session that we had was amazing, but it didn't get recorded. So can we do like maybe a 15 or 20 minute like refresher on what they may have missed last time? Because we definitely have. I mean, we have 25 people on right now compared to last time. I think we had like 2. So much better turnout this time, and I think a lot of people heard. Well, they didn't even hear that one. The only things that people could have heard was the first one that we did. So let's do a real quick recap of what we did last time, and then let's get into some of the other stuff that we're gonna do.
Okay, so we're going to just go through this really quick because there's a lot of stuff to cover tonight. Tonight is like the gold mine of like why you're all here, I'm sure. So week 1, what we did was we talked about what is SEO. It's basically about getting found. Why is it important? Because it brings things to your business. How to beat Google and how that's a fallacy.
You got way quiet, like you backed up.
Okay, so
there we go.
Better?
Much better.
All right. So you don't want to beat Google. What you want to do is be more helpful to more people, and that's going to be the overarching theme: is answer questions that your followers are looking for, that your customers are looking for about your product, because that's what they're typing into Google. All of these tricks about super links and this magic formula and link wheels and like all this stuff. Some of it is still applicable, but I'll tell you, if you do things the right way, you'll beat all that gaming all day, every time. So that's the main thing that we're trying to portray here, is just do the right thing, help people out, because at the end of the day, the way to get found is to get in front of that guy that's typing in a question into Google and you're answering that exact question. So just constantly creating content and making sure that you're answering every question you can. Then in week 2, we started talking about what problems do you solve, digging a little bit deeper, not just the 5, the frequently asked questions and the questions that your customers should be asking but maybe aren't. Definitely touching those, but getting a little bit further and talk about like, what actually do you do? What is the problem that you're solving? Because that really helps you define what your message is and how you're going to talk about it. And then we talked about Steve and who Steve is, and that's just a personal avatar of your customer and what they look like, the magazines they read, the places they go to.
We got into Facebook ads and going into
yeah.
targeting. I totally forgot all about that. We went into targeting.
Yeah, that was cool.
How, so many times, right, we think, oh man, I want to get seen by 1 million people. I want 1 million people to see me. And I mean, that's literally what I would think, right? When I've been, for like the last year, a lot of my targeting on Facebook has just been a blanket, like, let the world see me, right? And as great as that's been, some of the challenges that it's brought up is that I'll get 200 likes on something, but I'm not getting the engagement that I'm really looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they go, oh yeah, that's great, click. But I wasn't targeting who I really wanted. And so part of what Justin went into last time was talking about how to really specifically dial in that client or that customer, which, by the way, I've done. It's
nice.
Somewhat frustrating at first until you realize that everybody you're getting in front of is who you want. So whether you could get in 1,000 in front of 1,000 people that let's say we put you in front of 1,000 Russians and you don't speak Russian. And so now you're sitting there just talking all about your great product and about how amazing it is, but they don't understand a word you're saying. Or let's say you have this amazing product for mothers, right? And all you're doing is showing this product to a bunch of 17-year-old boys. They could care less about that product. So what Justin did was he showed us how to basically go in and go, okay, you know what? I want people from 35 to 65. And then out of that group, all right, I want to take all the married people, all right? And then out of this group, I want to take all of the moms. And then out of this group, I want to take all the moms with children between 3 and 5, because that's my target audience. And even though that target audience gets a lot smaller, that target audience is who you want walking through the door. At the end of the day, that's who you want. You could have 500 teenagers run into your building and into your business, but if that's not your target audience, you're going to be super pissed at the end of the day, right? Because now all of a sudden you're cleaning up and you're dealing with all this crazy stuff. If you're running a roller derby, right, or a roller skating rink, perfect. Yeah, you want all those kids there, right? So Justin really was understanding and helping us understand. God, I'm so excited now. Now I'm remembering what we talked about. It was about understanding your audience, your real target that you're going after. And a lot of times we don't think about that. And it's kind of like the 21-day challenge, right? The 21-day challenge is about bringing your life into focus. What do you want out of life? Well, Justin, SEOs is bringing who your customer is into focus. And if you don't have a focus, you're not advertising to anybody. Right?
And I think a lot of people will go out there and the most common thing I get is like, I don't want to turn anybody away. Like this product works for everybody. It's like, no, it does not work for everybody. I guarantee you that there are people on the planet that your product is not a good fit for. And more importantly, there's people on the planet who they're not looking for your product, but there are people out there who are avidly every day searching for your product. So if you get in front of those, it's going to be easier to sell to. It's going to be cheaper to get in front of them. And, if you get too niche down, and the only problem is, like, if you get too niche down and you don't get enough traffic, well, then you can open it up. But the problem is if you get floodgated, especially early on, like if you just happen to hit it big, man, I've seen websites just go down. We just updated our site and crashed it. So, you can definitely, there's these other problems. And having too many people is actually a problem. Getting in front of too many people can absolutely be a problem. You want to make sure that you're getting in front of that target audience. And you might come in and say, well, Pepsi gets in front of everybody. They're a choice of a new generation. So the entire generation. Well, they do that specifically. You'll notice at sporting events, they're doing a completely different advertising campaign because they have a different avatar, a different Steve for that particular event. And knowing who these avatars are, you can build one, and then as that works out and you get comfortable with that, build a second.
One we can't see you. Two,
What up?
Larry,
I can't see you.
am I coming in better? You can't see me. I can't
Yeah.
see you.
Oh.
Am I coming in better, Larry? And then three, can we talk about what you mean by an avatar? Because I'm telling you right now, there's a bunch of new people on here that have no clue what you're talking about. They're going, "Who the hell is Steve?" And what? Okay, and you're there. You are. You're back again.
Okay, good
And
deal.
what do you mean by an avatar? What do you mean by build out an avatar? What is that? Explain that a little bit.
So here, let's just do who is your Steve and just kind of go down this really
Who's
quick.
your Steve? Okay.
Yeah.
What is
So
going on with your? Did you just get a new computer?
I did.
You got
I
a
did.
piece of
So.
crap, didn't you? You didn't get a Mac. Wait, what? I'm sorry. Did you say that out loud?
Right. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I haven't played with the webcam yet. I haven't needed to. Let's see.
Well, I'm glad we didn't do this prior to the webinar, so that was perfect. That was.
Hey, I was on 30 minutes ahead.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that you had a brand new computer either, but that's okay. We're doing good, man. Okay.
So let's just do this. So age, sex, location are your like your primary factors. Like, is it between? Are you going for the teenagers? Are you going for the early young adults? Are you going for the adults? Are you going for married with kids? Knowing this stuff is going to be huge. Location is important because if you hit everything right, but you hit it, especially in a pay-per-click world, if you hit it across the U.S., man, you're going to get so many clicks that's going to be expensive, and you don't want that. What you want is to stay, you know what, I live in Orange County, I'm going to just focus on Orange County, and if, especially starting out, then you can go over to the person's house and say, hey, I saw that you signed up on my website, you had a question, I just wanted to come out and answer it, record it, video, audio, whatever, but you can have that personal touch, and then you can blow it out. Like after you've already worked with those people locally, you can expand it to globally. I really like to do magazines. I think that's a really great way to define people. US Weekly is a completely different type of person than somebody that's reading Success or Worth. You have Popular Science. The people that read Popular Science and journals are going to be completely different subscribers. They're going to want text in a very complicated way. They're not going to want a lot of short words. They're not going to want little paragraphs. They're going to want something really big. So
Okay.
I usually recommend going to there. Social events are really big too. My buddy Jake's on here, so Concourse, like, if you're advertising to those guys, may or may not be advertising to NASCAR, but there's other things like kids' baseball games. Is it something?
Hold on real quick. You
parents?
seem to be going up and down and up and down. Is anybody else hearing the same thing that I am, where it's like all of a sudden he's really close to us, and then all of a sudden he's like way far away, and then close to us again, and then far away? Or is it just me?
How's that?
That is seeing that? The thing is it's good. It's like all of a sudden it just starts to fade, and then it'll come back in again, and then it starts to fade again. Yeah. Anyways, nobody's saying anything, so maybe it's just me, which would be weird. But I'm recording this, so if anyways, keep going.
You got it. Yeah. So you basically want to know all these things about who you're dealing with. You want to have a very clear picture of them. It could be the car they drive. It could be a number of different factors, but knowing what those factors are so you can speak to them directly. And how many Steves? And this is where we talked about Facebook ads. And by using Facebook ads, you don't actually have to buy an ad to find out how many people you're going to hit if you focus on that. So, and that's a great way to validate a business, is to go through and say, okay, I'm going to open a dance studio, or I should say, I want to open a dance studio.
Right.
Type in the zip codes and, get that target demographic down. Say, women 24 to 36 and, whatever other criteria you can get, and then just change the zip codes and find out. Facebook will tell you how many people like dancing within that zip code, and people fill out their profiles. So it's a really great tool to find out, like, okay, well, Vista, I only have 422 people, but, across the street in Carlsbad, there's like 4,000. So we'll go across the street to Carlsbad, open the business.
And the thing about SEO and what we're really teaching you guys, well, honestly, what Justin's really teaching you guys, and then I'm kind of leveraging off of that information and sharing with you how I would utilize it as well. And actually, we're showing you too. If you guys were on last week or 2 weeks ago, I mean, I'm bringing you guys into our WordPress. I'm showing you guys different things that we're doing. In fact, Justin, I'm going to show you something tonight that literally saved me hours on the computer. I am so jacked up about this WordPress plugin that Sean found. It literally allows me to do what I've been asking like you to do for a year, and it just didn't exist, and now it does. So I'll show you guys that as well.
Cool.
But there's different segments that we're really doing this for. One, SEO is used to get found, right? So that people can find you. Two, what Justin's talking about is we can also use SEO to determine if a product, an idea, a business venture will work in that area. So we can use it for that. We can use SEO to actually target people and bring them to us. There's so many different facets that,
Mm-hmm.
and to control your brand as well, right? Like, what are people saying about me? What is out there? What is out there that I want? What is out there, and what do I want to be out there, right? What do I want to be found? That's really the way Justin explained it to me, because I didn't understand. He's like, it's not about if you can be found. He's like, Pete, we Google you, you're found. The question is, what do you want? What do you want in the first 10 pages? How do you want it to get there? All the pictures that I was doing. I mean, there's so many different things that I was doing that honestly Justin led me into. The videos that I do every day, I do them because of Justin. I mean, it was a year ago. He's like, you should probably just do like a video or something. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. I mean, like, you see my personality, let's go. And so we ended up doing some videos, and then all of a sudden it was like, man, if I'm gonna do a couple of these, I should do daily videos. And I just started going off. Like, it was more fun for me to record it than it was for me to write a blog. And so I created a video blog. But this is all because of Justin. I owe a lot of the growth that we've got in the last year and a half from him, because of everything he's helped us do. We were at, how many people did we have in the beginning, Justin? That remember when we opened up
I
our
want to say
website?
1,300.
No. When we opened our website, remember we were getting hits, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. What does this mean? And you're like, no. That's a month. That's good, but that's a month. It was like 50 hits a month or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the very
Yeah,
beginning.
we could pull up the analytics, but yeah, it wasn't too much.
And now we're at
because we didn't have any content.
Right. And now we're at like 200, 300 hits on a day. And so a lot of that has to do with the way that I started posting, Justin showing me how to do these different things. And so that's why I'm excited about SEO. And that's why you should be excited about SEO, because if you own a business or not, if you own a website or not, that doesn't matter. What he's going to be showing you guys how to do is going to help leverage you guys to the next level of you, whatever it is, whatever you want to attract. So go ahead. That's my 2 cents on that. I'm just excited about what we're doing, and man, I could do this every week with you. So go ahead.
Cool. All right. So then how we wrap that up was talking about make it so simple that Homer Simpson can do it. You basically want to, whatever you're selling, whatever your package is, what you're trying to sell to the customer is, it's going to be crazy easy, because look at how I can develop this for you, and your life is going to be better. So that's kind of how we wrapped up last week, and then we always talked about a different toy or something to play with. So are we ready to open up week 3? Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I'm way jacked up about that. Absolutely. What were the things that you gave away last week? Were there any tools or any websites that you gave away?
Yeah, I actually talked about we did Twitter search on there too, and talked about Hootsuite. So we'll actually go into that a little bit more this week as well.
Okay. All right, perfect. So we'll get back into those tools as well. Awesome. All right, well then we're ready for week 3. Before we start, guys, do you guys have any questions here? Let me ask you a couple questions real fast, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I have a service-based business. I use Instagram to show off current projects of how do. Current projects how do. Yes.
How to?
Right. I don't know. Show off current projects. Okay. Oh, there we go. I see. How do you use SEO to bring up images on Instagram to target audiences?
Okay, that's a great one. Hashtags are kind of a big deal right now. You just want to make sure that you use them correctly. You want to hashtag a keyword and not a sentence. That's what I see on Instagram all the time. Actually, I don't have anything to show on Instagram, but
I love my dogs because they love to drink water, and that's like that whole thing's a hashtag, right?
Yeah, it's like this big.
Right.
It's like a foot long, and it wraps around.
Going in lines.
Don't do that. Do the hashtag of pound dog. My friend is really into Dachshunds, and so everything she posts is a picture of her dogs, and it's always Dachshunds. And she has this crazy following of people who like Dachshunds because she's always posting it, she's always tagging it correctly. And there's people out there that says, I just want to follow Dachshunds. I follow pro surfers because I like scrolling through my newsfeed and seeing a bunch of like ocean pictures. It's fantastic. So
That's a
it's
great
whatever you're
idea.
searching for. And let me commend you too for doing Instagram for a service-based business. That's a great way to go. Being able to really put something visual together for something that might not be as easy to comprehend. Like for instance, if you have a product-based business, you're taking pictures of products, and frankly, that could be boring. With a service, by taking pictures of stuff, and I don't know if this was Jake's question, but Jake does this a lot and a lot recently of just doing some really cool stuff because he builds cars, and just the things that he does looks really cool, and he does this sort of a black and white look to it because that's his image. He's already decided what that's going to be. He When he came to me years ago, he had this picture in his mind of how everything was going to look. So he's taken his branding to always be that way. So
Can I hold on? Because you just brought up a really good point that I got to jump on. That's brilliant because that's you know what he was? He was focused on his outcome. He knew where he wanted to go. Again,
yeah.
that's a goal, right? That's a I know where I want to go and I'm going to get there no matter what. That's what the 21-day challenge. I mean, it's all about just writing down your goals. You don't need to join the challenge. Just start writing down your goals. The problem is sometimes people have a problem staying on top of that, right? But
Hmm.
that's awesome. The other thing is, I'll tell you, Instagram. I know that I'm always about growing our image. I'm always about growing what we can do. And Instagram was the connection, or Instagram was the way that I got introduced to somebody wanting to produce a TV show with me. So
Nice.
because of Instagram, that's how they actually found me. You know what I mean? Was because of all the pictures that I do on Instagram of our family and where we're all over the place and different stuff. So yeah, Instagram is an amazing tool for advertising. Amazing tool for advertising.
Yeah. And it just that extra media level is you just can't beat it. Like YouTube, Vimeo, Instagram, Pinterest, like they have a media component, so you can see something, you can watch something. It becomes more and more exciting to be a part of. Like
Right.
I barely check Facebook anymore because really most of my friends are on Instagram anyway, and that's where I want to be. So that's usually where I end up. So yeah, definitely be as engaging as
It's
possible.
crazy.
If you're using it for business, use hashtags that pertain to it, that the keywords that you want to rank for, and you can actually, I think you can put links in Instagram to send them off to your page too.
Yes, you
The
can.
other
And,
thing I
and
would,
yeah, because when I was doing the challenge, when I was doing the 21-day challenge, I put the link in there so people could click through it. It works on Instagram. It doesn't look like it works until you actually post it. But the thing I love about Instagram also is that you can link it with your Facebook, you can link it with your Twitter, you can link it with Foursquare,
mhm,
you can link it. So that's the other thing that you taught me was launching information from one point and then boom, making it
mhm.
kick out so that you're not repeating. You don't have to go out and write a post here and write a post there and write a post there and write a post there. That you're efficiently using your time to market and advertise yourself.
Yeah, and so when you do that, keep in mind that if you blast everything out, each channel will have a little bit different way that you communicate on. Instagram, you do things a little bit differently than Twitter, and a little bit differently than Facebook, and a little bit differently than Foursquare. So you should have a a strategy for each of those. But if you don't, just having something on there, you will eventually you'll find somebody who starts following you, they start interacting with you, and then you can take and build that strategy when you have followers there. I like doing stuff on Instagram because it's fun for me, so that's where I do stuff. And I've had interactions, and I know kind of what the followers there kind of want. So I know there's a free diver that I chat with all the time, back and comment back and forth with. So I know what kind of things that they think is fun, and I know what things I think is fun. So I just create that. The same thing with Foursquare. You'll start checking in places, and maybe somebody sees you check in, like, hey, this looks like an interesting person, and then you can start creating relationships there. I know one lady.
Well, people get in
This was a
common
couple
with
of
you,
years ago.
right? Like they see you
Yeah,
going in and oh, he goes to LA Fitness too. Oh, he likes Taco Tuesday at whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, he
everybody
goes
likes
to
Taco
Chipotle.
Tuesday.
Oh, he goes to here. And it's like that's what again, a network is all about connections. It's about connecting
Mhm.
with people. And I mean that's what again we were talking about last week, right? It was all about
Yeah.
how do you connect with them? How do you get them to see who you really are because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're connecting with people.
Yeah, and definitely getting in front of them and putting that out, making it visual if possible,
Mm-hmm.
is a huge, huge step. And I think I really like what we did with your brand and how we pushed that was with the video, just doing a video because we all we all sat down and like, okay, Pete's not going to write an article. We know this. We're like,
Right.
we're going to have to hire somebody to write articles, but that person doesn't know what's in Pete's head. So how are we going to get that out there? It's like, well, let's do a video. It's more engaging anyway. It's more fun. It's more exciting. Pete's really animated, so you can see that come across. And you can just start creating content. At the time, we didn't know what we were going to do with the website, which direction we were going to take it,
Right.
and that sort of created the website. We really took it from one direction. We put it a lot towards motivation. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there, and it's really, I think the way that you did the videos and the interaction that you got from it really shaped what the website did.
It did, and it
So,
made it more interactive. I think it made it a lot more
mhm,
personal. One of the other things that we were talking about last week too was about growing our network. So at the end of this, I'll share with you guys a way that you guys can double your LinkedIn connections. You can double your
nice.
social media connections. You guys all want to get bigger connections. You want a bigger network. I'll help you do that as well. We're honestly, you're going to be blown away by everything that we go over, and I mean, we're just getting started. So go ahead, Justin. Let's bounce into this and let's start giving them some meat.
Cool. Okay, so for the meat, you need to create content. That's the heart of SEO, is shaping the content that you create so you get found. But the meat of it is just creating content. I would say if there's one thing for you to do, if you didn't have time, if you couldn't do any of this other stuff, if you didn't want to learn all this stuff, just create content. It could be the videos, it could be Instagram, it could be any of these tools, but just create content, create a bunch of it, and start catering it to the people that follow you. Now, if you want to take it a little step further and bring in some of that text and get up to date on where you are, I really like a program called Feedly. I used to use one called Google Reader, but they closed. But Feedly stepped in and was like, hey, we got you. And they brought us all over into there. Some really cool things.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. So I'm going to show you.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
Because now I'm excited. Now we're gonna learn something.
Feedly is a lot of fun, and I apologize. I've actually gone through mine today. And to give you an idea, this one doesn't actually tell you how many blogs I'm following, but it's somewhere around 300. So every day, yeah. So it's, you couldn't imagine like how much time it would take to go to all these websites and bring these in. So check it out. I just go in. So in my lifestyle one, I follow this guy. He shows what people keep in their pockets. I think it's kind of fun. So if we go switch over here to my Justin one, I'm going to show you how we do this next. I have a keyword alert for my name, so if people are using my name on the internet, I get notified. In the
What?
lifestyle, here are all the blogs I follow just in lifestyle. And what it does is it goes out and it brings it all in and puts it in a feed like this, so I can just keep reading and keep reading
This is
and
like
keep
Mighty
reading, and you can
Mouse.
see it's marking it red as I go. Right?
Wow.
So
Yes.
one of the keywords I follow, I group them by keywords, so I can just hit a keystroke and fly through these really quickly. So, okay, supply chain, this is kind of boring, this one looks kind of boring. I can go through very quickly and not have to go to 300 websites to consume data. I can just bring them in right here. And then you can notice here on the bottom, I can actually save this directly to my Evernote account. I can save it to Pocket, which is another great tool. It allows me to categorize the stuff that's too long to read, so I can read it on my tablet on the go. I can email it to somebody, and I can do all my posting straight from Feedly. Now, what I usually recommend, instead of posting straight from here, is I would probably open this article, go over to read it. I can say, okay, I think these guys actually blocked this. No. Okay, so I can take this part, turn it into a quote, and write a whole an article about this quote and link back to this website. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's that person's content. I can't steal it, and you're true. That's true. You can't steal it. Think back in high school, you can't cite something without actually citing it and giving credit to where it came from. But this is actually called. It's something that became really popular, and so popular that there's two websites that are just making a killing at it. One is a program called Upworthy, and another one's called Huffington Post.
Oh my
Huffington
God,
Post just
Huffington
goes out.
Post. That's huge.
Yeah, exactly. They go through, they find all these people that are talking about stuff, they take a clip of it, and they write about it. So they repurpose the same content to put it out. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Huffington Post is not a small newspaper. They're probably the biggest news source online right now. So
They're huge.
yeah, so this isn't just like some neat idea. This is actually a significant business model that brought a few companies to $1 billion. So definitely something to take a look at. Let's just go through real quick. Hey Pete, give me a
Beat.
keyword, something that you want to go after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pete Asmus.
Let's say Atlanta. That's where we're going to Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, so here we go to Atlanta. I'm just
Or
doing a
no,
search
goals,
for
goals,
this,
do
and
goals.
I have a few different blogs that I can follow here in Atlanta. So I can just like, okay, you know what? Atlanta business news is probably going to be pretty feature rich. So I'm going to go in here, look at what they have. If this looks pretty good, Buffalo Wild Wings, man. So this is obviously, this is gold right here. I'm going to add it to my Feedly, and it's going to say, which collection do you want to put it?
Okay, so I can't hear you. Um, can anybody else hear him right now? I think he's talking about Atlanta, but I have no idea what he's saying. I don't think he knows what he's saying. Well, he probably does. Something's up though. Justin, hi. I've got no idea what's going on.
Aren't smart enough to use something like this. Yeah. So, you can continue adding content so you can have as many things under Atlanta as you want. So every day when you wake up, and look, just while we were talking, I have another technology post come in. So I just like a couple times a day, I'll sort through and play with stuff. If I'm on a conference call, I have,
Hey, Justin,
uh,
I,
yeah.
I don't know if they could hear you, but I couldn't hear you. Like as soon as you said Atlanta, you went completely mute to me. Now you're back, but I don't know. I asked everybody else if they could hear you, and nobody responded to me either. The problem is that I'm recording this, so
Hold on. Yeah, check this out. I'm gonna.
apparently
Uh,
I don't know, maybe they did hear you, but I didn't. But it didn't get recorded. I mean, it was me just going. I don't think Justin can hear me, and I was doing this in the thing. Nobody. All right.
hold on. We're gonna do audio. All right. How do I sound now?
No, you sound great. It
Okay,
just you
so
got.
I switched my mic to be from my laptop instead of my microphone. I'll
Oh,
get that
perfect.
dialed in. Cool. So yeah, you can pull all this stuff up. It's really easy to go through, and you can be like the one person in your industry that's just like really on the pulse of stuff. And you'll find that as you are work in your industry, you're going to find new websites that like, man, they have so much great content. Well, now you can just put it in this one place, and you can use it over and over again, and just like have the one place to go to for like 300, 500 websites, however many you need to go through, and you can have as many keywords as you want. So Atlanta might be a good one. If you're in Atlanta, you might want to do something different. Atlanta nightlife and Atlanta sports, things like that, and break it down a little bit more. So I highly recommend this. This is a great way to go out, find information that people have already created, and give yourself an idea of what to talk about next. And this is a great way to find out too, like what the hot stuff is, so you know what other people in the industry are looking at. All right, so let me go back a little bit and let's talk about we talked about grouping by keywords and themes.
Now, how
Google
is that?
Alerts.
How is that SEO though? Real quick, when we're talking about Feedly, how does that play into the SEO game?
So that is at the content out stage. But
Okay.
first, we need to know what we're going to create content on. And one of the big things is that up now and trending. Like what's interesting? What are people looking for right now? And I guarantee other people are out there and they're writing content about it. So you see things and you know, hey, this new business just opened that's very similar to mine. I should be talking about this. I should be doing this.
Okay.
You know how you need to differentiate.
Got it.
So this is how to bring in that content so that you can shape it, craft it, mold it. So when you push it out, it's exactly the form that you want it to be.
Okay.
So Google Alerts is how I came up with this, and I have these going on for my name. So you can see if if Justin is mentioned anywhere out on the internet. So definitely do that. I think that's I actually didn't come up with a link for that one. Alerts.
Good
Google.
evening, Justin. Today
How do you do?
April 8th.
It's Dave. Oh my God.
Hi, Justin.
So,
I'm so bored,
here you
Justin.
go. Let's do Pete Asmus is insane.
Yeah, let's see where that's at, man. That's got to be all over the place. Pete is insane. Did you see that? That was awesome.
So, okay, so just pull in everything. You can narrow it down, language, region, whatever, and then I'm going to create an alert. So I have these other alerts, and I think this one came in, so it's going to send me an email. So I'm going to edit this, and actually what I want is, I think I already went too far. But basically what you want it is an RSS feed like this, and then you just copy this feed, and you put it in Feedly when you add, and it'll just show up in Feedly. So now I know all these things that are happening as they happen.
And that's kind of like the Hootsuite then, right? Where you can have the Google search or the Twitter search, and
Twitter
so
search.
anytime anybody says anything, it pops up if that hashtag is used.
Yeah, and that was going to be the next one, is search.twitter.com. So you can check here, advanced search, and these are the things that get people really excited, especially from a marketing perspective, being able to know what you're looking for and to be able to narrow it straight down. You can just in San Diego, if you have a local business, you can put it in San Diego. You can limit it to within the last week. And let's say Pete Asmus.
Say cabinets.
Cabinets? You got it.
Cabinets.
I should know how to spell that. Apprentice for a while.
I don't know how to spell anything, so I'm with you.
Yeah, so this is excellent. So cabinets near San Diego.
Look at that bear.
So check this out. If you went in, if you sold cabinets, these are probably all great people to talk about and to talk to back and forth.
Look at that. So what you're saying is, if I don't know, if like maybe you made cabinets or you installed cabinets or you did both of those things, this might be a great option for you to help get your name out there to become bigger, right?
Yeah, check this out. I hate being so short, LOL. I can never reach shit in my cabinet. So here, this would be a great, just reply now. This is April 6th. Reply now and get in front of this person who's obviously interested in a new cabinet solution.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is so brilliant. I didn't even think about that. So I need to go and search on here for people that want to run their car off the road, and then go, no, hold on. My name's Pete Asmus.
Exactly.
Let me show you how to motivate you and take you to the next level. I didn't even think about that. So that's where this is how we can literally search for problems. So let's take Jake, for example, right? He could use the search and search cars. And so he could be looking for somebody that, man, my car broke down again, or I'm looking for this great car. I wish I had a muscle car, right? And now he's able to tap in front of all those people on Twitter and go, hey, well, my name's Jake. You should check me out, right?
Yep. And upgrade kitchen cabinets time. It's new instructional video. So now you can see what kind of things are going on. And there are other things out there that'll show you what's trending right now, what's new and exciting in Twitter. I think Gmail actually has that. I think Facebook started putting that in too. So
hold on real quick. Does anybody out there, do any of you guys right now, do you like what you're hearing? Do you think that this stuff is interesting? And do you have a word that you would like us to look up right now while you guys are on? If you do, put it in here very quickly so that we can look it up for you. If it's something that relates to what you do or what. Oh, I got to sneeze. Okay, don't. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. It's like right here, like you feel like you got to sneeze. Okay. Oh yes. Okay, hold on. Metal shaping. Metal shaping. Let's look up that word. Kenneth, thank you very much. And I am worldwide. Prestige. Worldwide prestige. Remember? Step Brothers? Prestige worldwide. I'm sorry. Prestige worldwide. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so metal shaping near San Diego did not work. So we can just open that up a little bit. So let's see if we can go back.
Instead of metal shaping, metal repair? Or wait.
Let's say metal and
And see, that's what I mean by, look, you guys don't have to be in real estate for these calls. What we're doing, I'm really moving away. Actually, Ivan and I were talking about this, that we're really about helping entrepreneurs do whatever it is they want to do. We use real estate as an avenue to make money. We'll help other people make money through real estate. But in all reality, we want to help everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter what you want to do. We want to help you get to that next level of you. So, anyways, man, I got to sneeze. Oh, it's driving me crazy.
So look, we got SG Entrepreneurs is talking about basic metal shaping tips. This person obviously somewhere else is talking about sheet metal shaping. So we have some of this stuff. The other thing, and we're going to get into this too, is using Google to track down and do that keyword research. So we're kind of in that now, so I'm going to restructure this. So take the free tools out, the Google AdWords tool and the YouTube keyword tool. And so here are those links. So you can go straight to it, but let's go to the AdWords keyword tool and look at metal shaping. I bet we get some cool stuff there. Here we go. So this is the link to it, and it sucks, so that's why I made it toucanewebsites.com/keyword planner. Okay, so what we're doing is we're using Google's tool that says, okay, I want to advertise on Google. Tell me which words I should use. Well, the other part of that is, hey, I want to build a business, and I want you to tell me if it's viable or not based on people searching for it. So it's a really great tool. I'm going to go get ideas. Just from metal shaping, you can add up. Okay.
We have a couple other ones. I'm sorry, I was muted and I didn't realize that, and I was freaking out. You are going to cover AdWords, right? Because that is something that I'm extremely interested in learning how to do, because I have no clue how to use that stupid thing.
Sure, we'll do AdWords on another day though. That's intense. So.
Okay, I thought we were doing that. All right. Anyways.
Okay. So what we're doing right now is we're saying, okay, for metal shaping, tell me if this is a good way to go. So if we hover over, we can see what the monthly searches are for metal shaping or shaped metal in the past year. Or this looks like, yeah, about a past year. So we can see that it took a little bit of dip after March and April, and then it came back up, and it's taken a little dip now. The other thing you can do is sort by average monthly searches. And now you see all these other ideas. So our idea was metal shaping, but super plastic formatting. You can get into metal fabrication.
What about
metal
custom
stamping.
metal works?
So let's add that one. Custom metal works.
And you just add a comma there? Is that all you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're just adding more filters in there. I'm going to turn on. Cool. And so that'll. We're going to turn that one back off. It's not enough to think about. So now we can see metal is getting 65,000 average monthly searches.
Which means that somebody's typing into Google search metal and then hitting search.
Yep.
Okay.
And they might be talking about music.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Okay.
So we got metal bending, metal shear, sheet metal. So a lot of this stuff looks pretty good, like something we'd want to get into. Cool. So you can see here, I just went to the keyword ideas. So metal shaping, 390. Custom metalworks, this is like the actual keywords that people are using. The competition means these are the number of people that are trying to bid for Google AdWords, for advertisements, to get people to click on them. And you can see the suggested bid here. So if I'm going to do an ad, it's going to be $1.50. So that means that people are pretty competitive, that they really want you to click on it, because metal shaping probably will translate to a sale. And that's probably what you want to target. This means that it's probably not looky-loos. So especially this one, custom metal fabrication, great keyword. You're getting 1,000 searches a month, and you can see that it's not $1.50, it's $3.66. So this means more.
Who's typing in going, you know what I'm going to search for today? Let's search for custom metal fabrication. I don't have anything I want to do. I don't want to build a car. I don't want to do anything but I'm going to search that term just for fun. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense, where people could go beautiful and go, oh, I wonder what beautiful. I wonder what's under funny cats today. You know what I mean? And they have no intention of buying anything.
Exactly. Like metal shaping, I would say is probably somebody who's new into it and maybe not, doesn't know what they want. Custom metal fabrication, though, I would say is somebody. I mean, you can see just by the words that are used, is somebody who's more advanced in the space and knows what they're looking for.
I didn't
Custom metal
understand it
products.
before, but that really makes a lot more sense to me now I'm dead serious too, because I didn't get what you meant by high, medium, low. I'm like, well, that doesn't even make like, what do you mean? But it makes sense where somebody looking up the word beauty, it doesn't mean that they're actually going to translate to a sale. Somebody looking up funny
Hmm.
cats isn't going to buy something, but somebody looking up custom metal fabrication is definitely looking to purchase something or to get something done. You know what I mean? And that makes sense. Like, for the first time, I understand this a lot more than I did. And I mean, how are you guys feeling? Does this make sense to you guys as well? Hold on real quick. I have some questions. How about, okay, hold on. Let me get back to you. Uh, what Stephanie would also, or Simone, I'm sorry, Simone would like you to check out Las Vegas and self help, just to queue it up for later. We don't have to do that right this second.
Sure.
Stephanie Morris, how about legacy? I'm not sure what you mean, Stephanie. If you mean legacy as a term, and then how about emergency communications? And how could you use this to find qualified professionals? So how
Okay.
could you? That's a great question. How could you use this to
Yeah.
find?
So I would say for Google AdWords, maybe not so much because you're not finding the actual person that's in there. What I would do for finding a qualified professional is do an advertising very similar to this, but on LinkedIn or Facebook. And then you get a lot more criteria that you can go into. So you can find out, you can even do things like works at Intuit and just advertise only to people who work at Intuit because you're down the street and you have a sandwich shop and, hey, here's lunch type thing. So
Oh wow. Okay.
use yeah, change the tool and I think you'd be all right. This is more for a little bit more global. This is the words that people are using. So if there's a word or an acronym in your industry, for instance,
Well, here I got a
I,
question. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, I use warehouse management systems, but we all talk about a WMS. Now nobody really cares about that because it's really boring, but
14,800 people do.
yeah. So yeah.
That's a lot of people that
um,
know what WMS. Are you sure that that's what that means? Because you had me do C to C on Twitter, and that ended up meaning something totally different than what we thought it meant. There's a lot of people that
yes.
use
Should
that
I search for
hashtag
that?
too.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So yeah, that's a really good point. Is do the search and actually go out there and see what's on Google for that. So if we open up and do a search for WMS, okay, we're manufacturers. I know
Web
that's a good
map
one. Web,
service.
yeah, that's not something I want.
Not even
Warehouse management
remotely what
system,
you'd met Wilderness Medical Society.
geospatial,
Now here
exactly.
what about this though? So the question was, how could you use this to find professionals? Well, if I'm looking for custom metal fabrication and I go on, like type in custom metal fabrication, and then we hit search, right?
Hmm.
Now, that should bring up professionals that do custom metal fabrication. Wouldn't that, we would be finding professionals like that, right?
Yeah, and check this out. So it's going into my local area. Google knows a lot about me. You can tell. So it knows kind of where I am. I'm in Marietta, and it's pulling up business listings that do this. So if somebody had, let's say, a custom metal fabrication shop in, let's say, San Marcos, then if they had a Google page, a Google local page about it, they would probably be showing up. Here along the 78. So this is the interesting thing is that some people will do and they'll make a page and they'll get a different dot than others. So you can see here they came up for it, but they just this little dot because they didn't really fill out a good page about it. So Google rewards you for filling out information to help people who are searching so people use their search engine so that they can sell ads to get in front of those people. So it all comes back to Google's trying to make money, and we just want to make sure that we help them to make money, and they're going to help us get found.
And that's what we want. I mean, at the end of the day, look, everybody's in here to make money. We're all in business to make money. Nobody can do everything for free, right? So
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing. And if we can utilize Google to get found and to help and to find more opportunities, why wouldn't we want to pay them for that service?
Sure. Yeah. And
I got to think like that. Otherwise, then you make me all frustrated that I'm giving Google money. So I've got to think of it in a positive way.
well, and more than that, and we got to talk about the marketing funnel. Like things are going to go down, and each step it's going to cost some money, and you're going to lose some people. But at the end of the day, if you spent $100 and you made 1,000, that's a good day.
Yes.
Unless your costs are
10,000.
more than
That's not a good day.
$1,000, yeah, then you don't have a viable business.
That's a bad day.
Yeah, every day's a bad day in that business. So basically, yeah, you want to. I mean, spending money on Google isn't bad as long as you spend $100 and you get some, X return on it. I like to go for 10X return on it. So if I spend $35 today on advertising for our software,
you're looking for 35,000.
Yeah, and that's the average cost of what we're looking for. So I spend $35 and I think it's like $350 a month, and we sell a $35,000 system. So that works for me. I'll spend $350 to make 35 grand all day.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, and I think that what you're really showing us how to do too is how to be more efficient with that dollar, how to get that dollar to go farther. Like you said, it doesn't matter getting out to 1 million people if 1 million people don't want your product. It does matter though if you get out to 100 people who all want your product,
are craving it.
Dying for it.
They're mad fans. Just the instant like you're in front of them.
What are those people that give away the ice cream and then start singing the song for the dollar tip? Who is it that? Oh man.
Maybe that was before my time.
No. Aziz Ansari makes fun of them all the time because they sing they're so happy to get a tip. Anyways, oh man, this is gonna kill me. I'll remember it though. Keep going.
All right, so there was a term in Las Vegas. You want to do a search for that real quick, and we'll take a look.
Oh yeah, search for Las Vegas was Las Vegas and self-help.
Okay, let's just do self-help, and then. Because a lot of these things are global, and I think that's a really important point, is especially something like self-help, that's something that can be translated to a global market, like what we're doing now, and sharing screens and talking in webinars and Skype. There's so many tools where we can take something that's an interpersonal business and make it global.
And look at that.
So you can see
low.
here.
And it's low because
the competition is low.
Right, because what? Because probably people that's not a good conversion, right? Because there's a ton of people looking for self-help, but they're looking for free self-help. I wonder how I could get a little bit of help, but they're not ready to commit to buy anything.
And I would say that if I was looking at this keyword, I probably wouldn't go for it because it's too broad. Self-help is kind of almost a generic term. This is where this keyword tool really comes in handy, because I can go down cognitive behavioral therapy.
Whoa.
Now look, that says 50,000 searches a month, and I guarantee that people who are using terms like that are looking for information, and if you can get in front of them and give them that, that's a win. And the cool thing too is it's low competition. So I have a friend, for instance, she actually services this type of industry. She was a therapist for a while, and I think she still has a therapist practice, but she got really into SEO, and now she teaches therapists to build websites to get found for their type of therapy.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, it's just creating content and knowing how to do it. So let me just show you one of the things that I did. I went in and I wanted to find out supply chain and value chain.
And are you guys are you guys understanding all this? Are you enjoying it? And if you have questions, just let us know. Go ahead.
Okay, so I went through and I was trying to figure out what the difference was. And in my business, these are two different things, and I knew that, and I was trying to talk about it because we're writing a book and we're doing other things, and I saw that, let me take a look at this. I went down and picked out a bunch of keywords, and the cool thing is supply chain versus value chain. That's my article right there, number 4. I didn't promote it, I didn't do anything, but just because I wrote it correctly, it's number 4 when you search for that term. So what I did and did correctly, let's go over, and this is, we're getting now into past the keyword research, the content out. And posting to Hootsuite is part of that, and that should actually probably be in. Let's put that here. Uh, Assistant. So if you need somebody to help you write information, Fiverr is pretty good. There's some wins and loses there, but for $5, people will do like weird, crazy stuff. There's guys that will juggle freaking like blades and chainsaws for $5, singing your tagline. That's awesome. It's just for $5. He'll risk his life and literally limb so that he could sing your stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually where I get most of my video bumpers. The real cool intro at the beginning. It's a great place for logos. Fiverr is just fun to sit around, and they have an app now. So every once in a while, when I'm bored, I'll just scroll through and see what people will do for $5. If you want to go in the complete other side of it, Odesk is fantastic. They really get in there. This is where you're going to find somebody who does programming, will set up websites, will literally do anything for you. I had a friend who started a business, and he needed to get all the names, address, phone numbers, email, like all the contact information for every officer at a sorority house in the United States. He had a product that he was selling to sororities, and there's a lot of people out there. So he paid a guy $80, and that guy scoured the internet and got him, I want to say it was like just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads, and just delivered it to him. So he got his entire list for $80. And Pete, in the real estate world, how much do you pay for a name on a list?
Oh man, yeah, a lot.
Yes. So yeah, great place to go to get stuff done. What I tend to go to is iWriter. It's a really easy place to go. You can put in a keyword and say, write 2,000 words about this. I want it to be low quality, meaning like I want it to be high school educated or less, or I want to be like super high quality that it's going to go into a doctorate thesis. Now, don't use this for homework, kids, but you can use this for homework. They do checking, so it's not out there. So you can totally use this for homework, but don't. You need the education. But iWriter is great. So for like, it recommends $10 for my 1,000-word articles, and I bid $2 extra, so for $12, and people jump on it. I usually have a reply back in an article in like 4 or 5 hours. It's fantastic.
Wow.
Text Broker is pretty much the same way. It works very similar. I think Text Broker came out first. iWriter has a prettier interface, and I just tend to use iWriter. The proper post format. So this is what we're going to go into, and I actually have an image for this, and Pete, I shot you this that really kind of explains it a little bit better.
We will anybody that wants this, just let us know. We will get this to you so that you will have it. I'll end up perfectly. You know what? I'll create a download for it even. What do you want to call this link?
Say perfectly optimized page.
Oh my gosh.
Or
POP.
SEO page.
POP.
POP.
c2crea.com/pop. Pop. Yeah, I'll do it to that.
So you can see here that the keyword phrase that they're going for is chocolate donuts. All right. So what they're going to do is have the page title be their keyword first, and then their website second. So their website automatically comes on, and when we set websites up for you, it'll automatically do this. Now, chocolate donuts, let's be honest, is probably interesting enough to where you can put that as the title, and people will say, that sounds like a legitimate article. I want to learn about chocolate donuts. But there's a lot of keywords that might not sound that way, that you might want to take a little more time and think of why chocolate donuts in the summertime is a bad idea, and make it a sentence so that it sounds like something you'd be interested in. Website to keep tabs on is Upworthy. Man, the things that they do to titles will astound you. They've built a crazy, crazy business with it of just like taking other people's content, picking out a better title for it, and publishing it out. And it's insane how much more shareable things are just based on the process that they go through. But for this exercise, let's just talk about chocolate donuts. There's something else here called meta description. And what that is if we go back to Google, wherever Google went. All right. Meta description is this part right here. This is what you're telling Google. This is what this is about. So you can see here, Facebook is saying this about Pete. And you'll notice a little bit short. But notice here, this is the one that Pete has control of, and he set it to the right character limit. So this is definitely something to keep in mind as you're doing things, but it doesn't go on forever, and it'll just go ... So what you want to do is what we call front loading that keyword and putting it there at the beginning. So Mary's Bakery's chocolate donut. So Mary's Bakery is their business name. They're putting that at the front. Chocolate donuts right there at the front, so they know it's going to show up. And they have more to talk about it, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is something I might be interested in clicking in. If I'm on Google, I might say, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to click on Pete's Google Plus account. So those are what we want to do at the beginning. The headline, again, you're going to want to put in a big bold letters, and Google recognizes if it's bold. And I'll show you, I actually take this a little step further on mine. People often will not name the file name to what their keyword is, and they're losing out on so much traffic because people will do image searches for keywords. And when you do a search, look for Pete Asmus, Google does something that's really cool. It puts images right here because look, it has an images program. So they want to focus to get people to search for.
Yeah. That's just because they think that I am a really good-looking guy, and they wanted to put me there because I'm Pete Asmus.
I heard the next version is going to filter that out. They saw the pictures. Like,
no, that's not going to happen. No.
So, the one thing that I'm kind of surprised is that there's no videos. Google really likes inserting videos in here too. Yeah, your YouTube channel is there, so maybe they were doing that. But oftentimes, if you have an image or a video, that will show up here in Google's first results because it's tagged appropriately, and Google is like, you know what? People don't want to see a page full of text when they search. They want to see pictures of Pete. Look, this article's by Pete. Here's his icon. Here, this is so cool. Look at this picture. They want it to be engaging. They want it to be exciting.
Right.
So by naming the images correctly, and this isn't, they're kind of getting away from this, but I don't think this will ever really go away. If you name the file name to your keyword, it's probably going to help you down the road. It's definitely going to help you today. Now, the body is kind of where it gets a little bit difficult. We want it in the beginning, we want it a couple times throughout, and then we want it at the end. So we have chocolate donut, blah, 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 donuts. So you have a secondary keyword. So these are other things that are related. Because you're talking about chocolate donuts, you might talk about other donuts, glazed donuts, old-fashioned donuts, sprinkled donuts, all those other things naturally. And Google wants it to appear natural, and they're going to take great pains to make sure that everything looks natural. And if you do things like chocolate donut 600 times, that's not 1,200 words, and they know that. So they try to make sure that this is a very natural feeling. The sentences are, the words are spelled correctly, it's grammatically correct, and if somebody landed here, that it's something that people can see and would feel comfortable with. Now, the other part of that is most people online have about less than a high school's education, so you don't want to use words that are too big. So you want to be friendly, unless your audience, and you know that your avatar, if you're writing journals about the theory of relativity, if you do something that's high school level, people will leave. So you want to make sure that it's geared to the people that are following you, but aim it down just a little bit. The easier it is to understand, the easier it is to read. And especially just in case somebody else has Feedly and they're flowing through 300 articles every morning, you want to make sure that yours stands out and yours looks friendly and easy to consume. If it's so big that they're just like, man, I don't have time for this morning, I got to, pound my coffee, get to work, then they'll just breeze right by. So finally, here at the page URL, you can see that it's marysbakery.com/keyword term. So we have the keyword term in the title. We have it in the meta description that we're telling Google this is what this page is about. Have it again at the top, which is usually just the title repeated. And we have it in the file name. We've mentioned it a number of times throughout the text because we know I want to write about chocolate donuts. So naturally, it's appeared multiple times as we've talked about chocolate donuts. We've used other terms that are similar and made this a real organic feeling article. and something like that has a much higher chance of being rated. And this is what SEO boils down to. It is getting this phrase correctly. Now I want to show you what I did for this comparing value chain and supply chain. So my image is actually bad. Value chain word cloud. So I almost nailed it. I got value chain in there. So what I did is I said, okay, value chain and supply chain, right there in the title. Then we go down here. I have this other, like a subtitle, and also value chain in here. Value chain here. You can see it going throughout. I
How
have
did you
some
get
quotes.
that picture, man? That picture has
What?
value chain and some. Did you make that?
No.
Golly,
Check this
whoever
out.
did that.
I love
Seriously, you know how irritating that must have been? Like to turn all the
Google is
words.
actually cracking down on people that are searching for images and value
What do you mean?
chain. If you search for an image on Google and you take it from Google's images and you put it in your blog, they're going to hunt you down and downrank you because they know that that was somebody else's property. So I use a program called Big Stock, and you can see here at the beginning it was about $70 a month. So, and I get 5 images every day. So I try to load up as much as possible.
Wow.
So
Okay,
I just
because I
go
go
in
to
here.
Bing and I grab them. Does that do this? I'm not kidding. Like Bing, I found the
No,
best ones in Bing, and then I pull them
well,
down
yeah,
and
no,
I retitle them. Does that matter or no?
yeah, because Google's image search, they can pick you out of a picture, so they can tell if the picture's the same. I would definitely start doing something to get out there and buy these pictures that are built for that. So Cozy is another one. I think this one's only $14 a month, but they have some pretty legit pictures and images to use on here.
Oh, I like
And
that.
same with Big Stock. I mean, these are pretty cool. Like value chain's a little bit more boring, but let's talk about self-help. That was one of them.
Or motivation.
Yeah, so I mean, this one's pretty. That was
Oh,
a
I
pretty
like
good
that.
one. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Self-help.
To-do list, be better. Great. That's really specific. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
No,
better.
I don't hate people. So let's try metal shaping.
Oh wow.
So
Oh geez, look at him.
a little more working out in there, but
He's all
let's see if
metal
we get
shaping.
something called fabrication.
Yeah, that's custom metal fabrication.
Boom.
Oh
That's
wow.
badass right there.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, that's gold.
That's Jake right there on his big truck. Look, but it says big stock, man. That doesn't work. Or does that get
Correct.
removed?
Yeah, as you go through and buy it, they take that off.
Man, that is
But
awesome.
this would only be Jake if he was skydiving and on a motorcycle and shaping metal all at once.
Yes. All at the same time.
All at the same time. So, yeah, this is a great place because it makes it easier to find stuff. I mean, it'll tell you here like, hey, do you mean steel fabrication? These are the other things that you could be doing. So it makes it really easy to find
this
images.
Is so cool.
You can
Like,
put
I'm
in, say,
doing
you know what?
quotes. I'm making quotes right now for the 21-day challenge, right? So every day I'm going to send out a quote. And guess what I just had to do? I had to go all over the internet and search for all these quotes and pull them down. And some quotes ended up working really big, but some didn't. So now I have to find a picture and then I have to rewrite the quote and slam it on top of it. But like,
Hey, did you get that email I sent you?
Which one?
The share as an image? This is a cool little, it's a Chrome plugin, but it'll actually allow you to.
I think so. Yes, where you could do the video and your thing at the same time.
No. This is like, hold on. Let's do to do one get better.
Oh man. Okay.
So you can actually make these on the fly, and change the background, upload images, and actually, I sent you a link. It's $25 today on AppSumo.
There you go, and it was
for
permanent,
life,
right? For life. Oh, I'm definitely gonna go get this then. This is what that does.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can add stuff to it, do a bunch of different things. So just a cool little like crazy tool.
And then
but
what do you do?
just
Then
something
you
to
just
keep.
save it and then boom, it's done. And that what is that? That was called what?
Share as image.
Share as image. Okay.
Yeah. So check that out. That's pretty cool. That's a great way to do those images once. And again, if you're doing self-help or something that it might not have the most exciting images, or maybe you can't take pictures with clients, things like that, you can, like, in that world, quotes are super inspiring and people love them. So that's another tool that you can make to create images for a business that might not have an image to go with it. So
Yeah,
you can
because you
actually,
could, if you started doing this, you could put that out on your Twitter feed, and now people are following
yup.
you because of this, and now you're able to interject like different things that you're doing, right? Like you
Yeah,
could
and
put
here's
your
the important
your
thing.
website at the bottom of that.
Yeah, Aristotle, he has some great quotes, but come up with your own and you look like the bomb. Right? So you can definitely do quotes of other people, but if you do quotes of your own, that's even more and powerful, because that if somebody sees it and that quote fits them, they will
Right.
share it on Facebook, and now somebody who didn't know you now sees your name and is like, wow, that's pretty brilliant, and goes back and, who is this person? So definitely put your name on it. Like, not if it's not your quote, but if you see a
Right.
quote that's by Aristotle and you're like, you know what, I can modernize that, rephrase it, and put your name on it.
I love it, man. Like how I
So
did
yeah, so
questions, the questions people ask themselves. Or never mind. I'm not gonna. Never mind. You go. I'm gonna stop talking right now.
yeah, so the cool thing here too is you got photos in the back, and every week they add more photos. So
Oh, that is awesome.
right.
Yes. Yes, that is
So would
seriously.
that save you a lot of
Oh,
time?
that yes, because that picture right there would work for the quote that I wanna
Boom, there
use.
you go.
The quote is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Cool.
But you have to start to be great.
I just wish that they would allow you to kind of like change how, like, have multiple lines and multiple things on there. You might, oh yeah, you can add more text fields. So let's do that. I'll give you credit. I don't know why. I typed it.
I typed. Oh, I didn't make that saying up though. That's anonymous. That wouldn't be my quote.
But okay, but you get the idea.
But I
Like,
do get
you
the
can do
idea,
something like
absolutely.
that. That's like 4 seconds of work, and you have a great image for your website to post to Facebook. And these are, I can't wait to start
Oh
getting
my
into this.
gosh, I
It's gonna
just
be a
want to
lot of
get
fun.
that now. Now all I'm doing is thinking about what I could write that would make that picture an inspiring picture.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to see what
And
other pictures
you
they
got.
have now. Now I'm going crazy off this stuff, man. This is golly, you're gonna just add time to my life again. Every time I see you,
Oh, this
you
is
add
sick. You can
hours to
upload
my
your own
life.
water.
Every time you showed me how to do the YouTubes, then you showed me how to annotate on YouTubes and how to actually link it to my computer into our website. So that's fun. So now every time I'm done, I got to go to in. Oh man, you have added hours to my life. That is for sure. But
Yeah, but how many people
you've
have I
also taught
added
me
to your site?
that, well, yeah, big time, big time.
Yeah. So yeah, Big Stock is great. It's about $70 a month. If you're producing a lot of content or have something that's like a product that really sells and has a high value to it, I would invest in Big Stock, or Shutterstock is another one. There's a few out there that you can search for, and you'll find some image hosting sites or image sites that you can actually buy images for and feel very comfortable that you can use it on your site and be totally okay. Uh, Cozy is another one. I think this one's about $14 a month. It's uh, a lot cheaper.
I
Let's
love
try.
that picture right there. That's a crazy picture.
I know some of the business stuff looks really cool on most of these. So this one isn't as cool as the $70 one, but that's still pretty badass,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, that's cool. And
so you can
really,
take this picture, upload it to that other one. Jake can put a quote on there, and boom, Flying Dutchman.
what I mean, what do you guys see as the potential behind this? What do you guys think that all of you guys on the call right now, do any of you guys, in fact, go ahead and raise your hand if you want to make a comment right now, and I'll unmute you and tell me what you guys are thinking about about what you're saying. And don't be shy either, man. You guys can ask questions. It's all good. We can
Shipbuilding.
unmute you to ask a question. What are some of the other things? You had a video one too that I thought was that I thought was pretty amazing as well.
Oh man, where was that?
I think that was like in
Every
Google,
website.
in Gmail, right? It was like in Gmail.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember. I ended up video lean? No. So there's so many different tools out there. You can get lost in the tools. Let me just say what I totally recommend you guys do is just create content. Just do something every day to put content out there. I personally recommend video, just a video talk of you talking about your product. Get it out there, get it in there. And if you don't have a product, oh my God, you have such potential. Because now, if you're looking for a job, if you're not an entrepreneur, you just want to get better. If you want to get employed, this is a great way to get found. That's how I actually got found for what I'm doing today. Is I created a ton of content about supply chain and warehouse management. I built groups that met regularly of some of the big companies here in Southern California, and I created a LinkedIn group that all these people were a part of. And eventually, somebody heard that I was looking, and they posted a job offer in my group so that I would find it and I could move over. So
how amazing is that? See what I'm talking about?
That's the power of SEO.
Man, you guys have no idea how capable you guys are when you put your minds to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you understand what you're doing, you don't have to be some guru doing this or doing that in order to really get this to work for you. Justin was working for another company, and now he's a consultant for a big business, and he gets to travel all over the place because he knew how to get found, because he knew how to represent himself in the right way. Does that make sense? I hope so. This is awesome.
Pete, what's this? What are you doing to me, man?
What am I doing?
Now you're trying to take over my page too?
Well, you know, I just figured I keep tagging your name in everything that I'm doing. I just put Justin Velthoen everywhere. I do put your name on all of our stuff. I mean, it's all about how we tag. But why is that though? Why am I coming up on yours? And look again, I'm coming up on yours. Oh, because it says today on.
Because so if we go back to what this is, it's probably the webinars page. So it's talking about me on this page, and you're the featured image on that.
Well, so are you. Oh, because mine's the first image on the Experts Corner webinar page.
So check this out. This is actually an image I got from that big stock photo that I used in the last blog post I got around to doing. And so if you search for my name, this image comes up, even though it's not tagged for me. It's on my website.
Which one?
This one with the brain. I did a post on nootropics, which is smart drugs.
I can't see it. Maybe they can. Maybe everybody else can see it. I don't know. Okay, now you scroll down. Now I can see it. Whoa.
Okay.
Cool. Is that your brain on pills?
Yeah, it's a nootropic. So different ways to enhance the neural capacity of the brain.
Nice.
So here's our software product. This is, people that aren't me. That's my boss. So I'm, if you tag stuff right, man, you're going to be pulled up for all kinds of really cool stuff. So I highly recommend going out there and searching your own name and find out what comes into it. Like what comes out, what's your brand, what are you putting out there that if somebody is either a customer, a potential employee, anything like that is going to see who you are. And then do the same thing with your business and find out what people are going to be perceiving about your business. You want to make sure that that's what you want them to find, that it's appropriate, that it's pulling in other things. So these things are not mine.
But is that good? So you're saying look at what else is coming up on your stuff, right? Is that good though that other people's things are coming up on yours? Or would it be more impactful when we search for, let's say we search for the chain gang? No, wait, what is it? What did you?
Oh, supply chain.
If we Google supply chain and then we see your picture there, that's better, right?
That would be king. Yeah, that would be a lot better. But what I'm seeing here is that, okay, so here, these are the pictures that I want, except, this one right here might
you in the hat, I love it.
But yeah, so these are pictures that I want. You can see here's a presentation that I did. So that's probably something that's pretty good. This is interviews for our company with other places. Those are okay. These are some older icons that I used in the past. This is another company I started with a friend of mine, and these ladies probably aren't the best thing to come up for me. But if you check around, look at these are all images of my software product. These I know where these came from. These most of these came from my other website where I'm talking about supply chain. So yeah, if this is where I'm talking, if we go to the oops, sorry, hold on. Let's go to uh,
That's a good-looking guy right there.
oh
So.
well. Yeah, so if we go to click on them, look at the article, they'll come back to an article that I wrote that I'm on. So they can still find out about me because look, this post is by Justin Velthoen.
Oh
Right?
wow.
These are all by Justin Velthoen. So I'm still branding myself, and just because I'm creating a bunch of content, so Google can't ignore me anymore.
WMS and RFIDs.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
because you got the
Orphans.
LMNOPs too. So
I,
I can
I'm
make
gonna
up
get the
different
PNP.
letters and stuff. There's no big deal.
Exactly. So yeah, I would. Those might be kind of fun to get on. Definitely Google yourself, Google your company name, see what people are seeing
So
when
when
they
we
look for
put
you, because
images,
I'll guarantee you people are looking for you.
what do you see
If
images
you
on my
have
name?
an actual business, go to Yelp, check out Yelp.
No, on my
I
name.
have
You
a
were just on
friend.
my name.
We were gonna read. What,
I was saying just hit the images
what
on my
about your
name
name?
just to
Boom.
see. So yeah,
That's a lot of Pete,
it's just all.
except for that guy and that lady.
No, you know what that is? Oh my God, that frustrates the hell out of me. That guy's name is Peter Asmus. I have done everything to get that guy out of here. Man, I remember like 6 years ago, I was traveling around, right? And Brian Peterson like Googled my name, and this is before I did anything. Like, I mean, I was a ghost. And then all of a sudden, like a bunch of pictures of him pop up. And it was like, hold on, man. And so that was he put that picture as my picture. Whenever I would call, that guy's picture would show up. I was so frustrated. So at that point, that's when I started just taking pictures everything, just putting my name everywhere so I could get my picture. That is not me. Are you telling me that
Perfect.
came up under my name?
Yeah, Asmus Toys, Lord of the Rings. But
What?
check this out. Check this out. If this business wants to do business and get found under Asmus, look at this. I mean, that's way down the list. You dominate this page because you've been doing everything right. You've created so much content that Google can't ignore you,
I love it.
and that's the key.
That
So
is so
let's
cool.
look.
What if you just do my last name, just ASME? Yeah.
I want to see what Asmus Toys comes up because I bet you're on it. Oh, no,
Jim Carrey, what's
I
up,
want
man?
Ace Ventura.
Let me tell you something.
Man, so they did a pretty good job. They're doing a lot of pictures too.
They are doing a
But
lot of stuff, man. Asmus Toys. I wonder if I'm related to them. I could just call them up. What's up, man? My name's Pete Asmus. I own this joint. Look at my last name. Okay, that's not me. What?
yeah,
What is going
so
on
let's get
there?
out of that.
That is really
I don't know.
strange.
I don't know what you're doing on Asmus, but maybe we need to tag some of them Asmus to
Maybe,
push the
yeah.
rest of that stuff down.
That's a trip. Okay.
And see, that's actually really important. Is you never know what people are going to find until you do a search and find it, right?
Yes,
Because
it's true.
back in the day, I had like a bunch of goofy pictures when I was a teenager, and they all found themselves online because I thought it was funny to share. And then it took me about 3 to 6 months to create enough content to get those off the internet and track down where each one was and delete it so that
Man.
nothing was really bad, but it wasn't anything that I wanted anybody to see if I wanted to have a real job. So I
Right.
went through and wiped all that out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And again, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask over to the right side. We'll probably be wrapping up here very shortly
Yeah.
now. Did you guys have fun tonight? I mean, that's my biggest question is did you have a good time? Did you learn something? Was it actionable? And if it was, make sure you guys share this stuff on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I mean, help us grow what we're doing because even though we say this is going to be a 4-part series, I highly doubt we're ever going to end after. I just don't think it's going to end. I think it's just going to end up being every other week. Justin, real quick too. You talked about, if we do your website, can you talk a little bit about that as well before we get off tonight? That because I know you do
Sure.
websites. I've had a few people ask me about it. I know there are people right now listening that have websites that may not be done really well. And maybe
Hmm.
there's something that you can do to also go in there and tweak those up because I'm going to be working with a couple people. And I think that that could be a really good thing for them to have their website tweaked for these reasons.
Yeah, definitely. We do a variety of different things for websites, but yeah, we with the main goal of getting you found online. We want it to be crisp and clean, uh, make it as easy to use as possible, and help you out as much as you need to get that up and rolling and feel comfortable in it. I know sometimes websites can be a little bit daunting. It's a new technology. There's a number of us that the only reason I know is because I was a coder back in the day, and mom wanted a gallery for her art site, so I made a website. And then
Guess what
actually
you
how
got
it,
to do?
yeah, so I got to create that, and that was a Mother's Day present one year, and then we just keep it up to date. So
Nice. Is that
yeah,
every
and
year's Mother Day present? No, 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 no. I updated it. You got a new
oh,
server
I
just
wish.
off.
I did move it to a new server, so it's a little bit better. But I really want to redo it. I think it needs a facelift. I'm not too big of a fan of the colors, but she likes it, so it's staying.
Wow.
So
Nice.
this is actually why it's Toucan website. So if you go to Toucan websites/contact, that's where I'm located. So these are kind of funny. I started tagging these with the names of the paintings. I tried to convince mom that we probably need to name things a little bit differently for art, and it'll get our art found. Like Shadows in Tuscany is actually a pretty good name.
Right.
It's actually a really gorgeous painting as well.
But
But
but a bunch of sticks on the wood. Probably not as good as Shadows in Tuscany, right?
exactly. And by you can come up with an esoteric name and it sounds really cool, but if you name it something that people are looking for, somebody across the world will find it.
Oh my
And
gosh. That makes sense. Serengeti
yeah,
leopard. Somebody would Google Serengeti leopard, right?
yeah.
Yeah, let me show you.
Well, let's just see what people are searching for. They all look very similar. Uh,
They all look like
that
leopards.
was like
I'm
a
just going to
post
be
from.
honest with you right now. They seriously, they all look like leopards.
Yeah, this was a long time ago, so I don't
Except
know
for
if that would even
that.
show
That
up
looks like
anymore.
a
But
zebra. Just being honest here.
So I want to go through post ideas too, and because I think a lot of people get concerned about creating content. And when we build a website, I work with you to create that first springboard of content. Because if you go to a website and it's completely blank, it's pretty boring. So what I like to do is work with you to create that content and guide you to that. Like I said in the I think the first or the second week, your main homework is 5 frequently asked questions. Like if you get on the phone, you call somebody up, because cold calling should always be a part of your business. You call somebody up and say, hey, I have this product I want to sell you,
Well,
and
what
they're
does
going to
it
say,
do?
well, what does it do? How much does it?
How does it work?
How much does it cost? Yeah, they have those questions that always are going to come up, and as you're doing it, you'll notice, like, why do I always get asked this? Well, it's because you haven't told anybody yet. So we make frequently asked questions posts where you define that. And you say, you know what, I talked about that on the website. I have this great video. Let me send you a link to it, and that'll go in and describe that. But just real quick, let me answer that, and then we'll go on, and I'll send you that link, and you can really dig into it.
That's right.
So that's a really good tool. It's something that we're using in our business, because we found on our software site, people were spending like half an hour to an hour just going through the videos. They really like the
Wow.
video. So I knew if I made a post and made that the video and went through it, we'd keep them on the page longer. So it's a fantastic tool. So
Man,
the other
this is
things that you
such
can do.
invaluable information. I mean, seriously, like you are so amazing, Justin. I'm so grateful that you're doing with it. I'm being serious, man, because I really do. I think that what we're talking about is just so awesome, and I think there's so many people that don't have a clue about it. They're so afraid of it,
Mhm.
and it seems so daunting. And you really make this stuff just easy to understand, easy to
Yeah.
digest. And so I'm
Well, it
grateful.
is simple. It can get complicated if you want it to be, but I don't even want it to be, and I'm in it. It should be simple. Just create. content that answers questions. If you can do video, do video. If you can make it in a picture, do it in a picture. If not, if writing's your tool, do writing. That's still really good. But if you can do video, that's probably the best way to go. And
And
we'll
it's never going to
work
be
on like
comfortable at first. So don't think
no.
that, well, you know what? That's not me. Believe me, it's never anybody until they start doing it. Just start doing it. Just 2 minutes. Just, hey, talk about your day. Talk about what happened in your day
Mhm.
really quick and just start like that. I believe me, we started with 30, 45-second videos just saying, hey, it's make it happen Monday. Go make something happen. Have a great day. That was it. I mean, that was literally it when we started. And now they're freaking 20 minutes long sometimes because the girls won't stop talking. Um,
Yeah.
so
And
you
so
know what I
two
mean?
things about that is I bet it'd be hard to find those first ones because they're buried under so much really awesome recent content. So you don't really have to be that concerned because a year from now, man, you're going to be so much better and people will be going through your most recent stuff because it's the most relevant.
Right.
If you are still concerned about that, record it on your phone or record it on your camcorder, watch it, take notes, and say, this is what I would have done different. You'll notice I have lights all over here because I saw how I looked without lights and said, you know what? No, I need to go to Home Depot. I dropped a couple $100 on lights, and boom, it can look okay on
Now
the
he's
camera as
getting tan
much as this
while
can
while
look.
we're doing the webinar.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can always grow into new things, but you can't, there's no way, even if you had like unlimited funds, that you can do something perfect out of the gate. So
Correct.
don't even set that expectation for yourself. Just create, and if you don't feel comfortable enough to post it, don't. Just like do 10 and see what happens. See what you like about it, see what you don't. Show it to a couple people, ask what they liked about it, ask what
Yep.
they didn't, and ask them how maybe it compares to other things that they see, and you can build on that. And so after 10, you're going to be pretty good at it, and you like that. After 10, you should be able to put that online and start seeing results and see, okay, well, now that I post online, I know that I want to do this now. Like, okay, now Pete's doing this cool thing with an overlay with image with his name and other things, so you can do that down the line. But he had to create how many videos
Oh my
before that
gosh.
became even practical?
Yeah,
And
I
he's
mean,
doing crazy intros.
all of that, all of it. I mean, you're absolutely you're golly, you're so 100% on the money right there, man. It's just about getting started, just going back to the quote, you don't have to be
Hmm.
great to start, but you have to start to be great. Period.
Hmm.
It's something that has to happen. So get out and go make it happen. Get out of your comfort zone. Join the 21-day challenge. Join something that's going to get you out of that comfort zone and start implementing the stuff that we're talking about. Take action now. Why wait till tomorrow? Why wait till next week? Why wait till next month? I mean, seriously, what is the problem with right now? That's what I don't get. Everybody wants to. If I said, "Hey, I've got $1 million, do you want it?" Would everybody? Yeah. You know what? Next, let's do this next week. Hell no. You'd be snatching it right now. What you guys don't realize is what Justin is telling you is worth $1 million to you if you use it the right way. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't be to yeah, I'll do it later. It should be like, man, I'm excited to get this into action right now because I want my life to change. So I mean, that's how I feel. At least that's how I think you should feel. It's
Yeah.
it's about taking action. Arita, or you had a question about, do you delete, or how do you delete photos from your business? And I asked you what you meant, and you still haven't responded to me, so I don't really understand.
Hmm.
Well, oh wait, hold on. Search yourself for Google Images. There are videos you do not want to show up. Is there a way to delete, or do you just add others on, or do you just add additional content on top to bury it? What was that one thing that I used that we were using? Uh, brand yourself. Brand yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It uses Google
yeah.
big time. Do you want to go over that and explain that real quick?
Yeah, so this is a great one for to start out and to really get the feel of it. But you log in and it'll actually walk you through getting found on Google and creating content so you really take over that first page. There's a couple, if those videos are yours and an account that's like an older account, you can go through and delete it, and eventually it will come offline. The thing is, Google caches websites and they cache data, so people can search for it and still find it. Or somebody might have saw it, thought it was cool, and like, hey, I'm going to download it and I'm going to post it over here. So there is the problem of when you get something out online, somebody might take it and run with it and you lose control over it. And that is definitely a risk. However, the thing is you have all the power over what's on the first page of Google. So by creating more content that's more relevant, the less chance that anything else is going to get found. Like you can see what Pete and my Google pages are for, our image pages. We've created so much content of what we wanted to get found for that all that other stuff got pushed to the back. And you know, most people aren't going to go to the second page of Google, and they're certainly not going to go to the fourth or fifth. So if you can knock that stuff back, it's not even an issue anymore. I mean, that's why everybody wants to be on the first page of Google, because nobody clicks next page.
I don't even
unless
go
you're
past,
really
like,
doing a research paper.
Yeah, I don't even go past the like third or fourth thing down. I'm like, all right, well, nothing looks interesting here, and then I literally, if I don't see what I want on the first page, I do another search. I don't go to the second page because I figure if it's not on the first page, why the hell is it going to be on the second page? That doesn't make sense to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I never go past the first page ever.
My role, and I did this a long time ago, is I had the nickname that I used to go by, and so I have an email address with that nickname. It doesn't have my name on it. I have, all these other things in that nickname, and that's where my past is, or that's if I'm being goofy. I can have that, and it's not tied to my name. So
before
if
you
pull
became
up
part of
Velthoen,
Shield.
Yeah.
Captain America. Yeah, just saying. Okay.
No, but so yeah, I mean, luckily when I started out on the internet, I did it under a pseudonym, so that it was really easy to clean up because I just had to go on and change the display names, and even if I couldn't take it down, I could change some of that. Often you can get in touch with a site owner and say, hey, could you take this down? Or I don't really like that video. I made you a new one that's probably more relevant for your audience, so you can use this instead. Or, there's ways around it. And you're not the first person that this has happened to. It's a common problem.
Right.
My wife was a flight attendant, and flight attendants, like all of her friends, were posting these crazy party pictures. And the problem is the airline that she worked for would be searching for their people and would see in their status updates them like drinking in their outfits, them doing stuff, and they would fire them because you need to be conscious of your brand online.
Yep.
Even so far as your employees, what they're doing in your logo, if they're how people are using your product, things like that. You want to make sure that that's all relevant and is the best possible light. And if something comes up, just like in Yelp, if you get a bad review, just fill it full of good content. Just start offering discounts. Everybody that checks in or everybody that gives me an awesome Yelp review gets 10% off.
Yeah.
You want it to be authentic and true. It's like, okay, if you give me a 4, I'll give you 5% off. Work with them, but you push that bad stuff down. And that's actually something else I wanted to talk about is with great power comes great responsibility. Is that you can use these tools for evil, and like the other day I was at I forget, I was at some local business and they treated me really poorly, and I was so upset, and I really really wanted, I was like, man, do you know that like what I could do? But the problem is then my name's associated with that negative emotion. So every time you rank something down, realize that that's actually ranking yourself down too. So it helps if you're helpful and say, here are, I identified these, we had some issues, buyer beware, this is something that might come up. If you're just bashing somebody, you're going to look like the jerk, and the company's going to look kind of bad, but you're probably going to look worse than the company does as somebody scrolling through the site, especially if there's a lot of positive comments. Be constructive with your criticism so that your name comes across well. And the same thing for if you see something bad, just fill it full of positive content, because it's the negative.
Got it. Man, that was awesome.
I love that song.
What else, real quick before we go? Did you have fun tonight so far?
Oh yeah, dude. I always love talking about this stuff.
Okay,
and I
great.
love helping people out with their websites and getting their business online and get them moving.
Well, let's do that then. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up. I've got to eat dinner. I know you've got some stuff
Dude.
you've got to do as well. But we will be back in 2 weeks again. I think honestly, Justin, I mean, we'll talk about this offline, but we'll probably just, if you're down, we'll just keep rotating this thing, man, because I think there's going to be a lot of people coming in. I think there's a lot of people that are actually going to really need your help when it comes to doing the website. Because one of the things that I love about this that I wanted you guys to understand is Justin's teaching you guys how to do this. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. You can get into this kind of like what I did, which was I started to do it and go, no, I'll do it. And he showed me how to do it. And then I'm like, okay, hold on, man. This is taking way too much time. Here, you do it. And so that to me is a better way to work. I'd rather show people how to do stuff. And then if they want us to be involved, great, we'll be involved. But otherwise, this is how you do it. We know that if we help enough people get where they want to go, we're going to get where we want to go. It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? So I think that this was filled with content. I think this was a great webinar, and I'm really grateful for everything that you shared tonight, Justin. What do you want to say?
If you have any questions, hit me up, toucanwebsites.com/content. Shoot me any questions you have. If you need a website, if you have a pressing issue and you want to take a deeper dive into one of the keyword terms, we can sit down and do a webinar like this and talk about it and see what we can come up with as a strategy for you. If it's something that you like and you want to implement, we can talk about what that would take as well. Really, just get out there, create content, do something awesome, share experiences, teach people how to do something in your niche so that you come off as the brand fanatic, as the winner of that keyword, and really dominate through just helping people. Because that's, no matter what Google does, Google will never ever rank you down for helping too many people. That's never going to happen. All the other little games and tricks, that's what's going to get flagged by Google. That's what those Google changes are, and that'll ruin you. So just do everything right. Do it with heart.
All right, guys, we've had a bunch of people saying thank you to us. Thank you, guys. If there are no more questions, nobody wants to say anything or anything like that, that's fine. We will go ahead and we will see you guys next week on Tuesday night. I believe I have Clint Coons coming in, and we're going to be talking about 5 reasons not to use your self-directed IRA for investments. And then the weekend after that, we've got you back again, Justin. What are we going to be talking about next time?
Yeah. So next week we're going to talk about getting out there, and this is the brand yourself, like where to go to build those profiles, what they should look like, how to blast stuff out, how to link it all together.
Cool, man. I'm excited. Yeah. All right. Well, Justin, thank you so much. Everybody, did you guys have fun? Was he awesome? I know, right? Yes. Man, they think woo. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Have a great week. And we will see you guys next week. Okay, I'm done now. Bye, you guys.